My fiancée demanded I put her name on the house I'm buying with my own money and threatened to leave me if I didn't. So I made her wish come true and left her first. Now she's desperately crawling back begging for forgiveness, but it's way too late. I'm 29 years old and I've been working toward buying my first house for the past 5 years. I have a steady job in software development, excellent credit, and I've been religiously saving every penny I could spare. I lived with roommates longer than I wanted to, drove an old car, and basically sacrificed any luxury spending to build up my down payment fund. After years of discipline and planning, I finally had enough saved for a 20% down payment on a decent house in a good neighborhood. My fiancée Jessica and I had been together for 2 years and engaged for 6 months. On paper, we seemed like a good match. She was sweet, funny, and we got along well most of the time. But our financial situations were completely different. Jessica worked part-time at a clothing store, had significant student loan debt from a degree she never really used, and had poor credit from some bad decisions in her early 20s. She lived paycheck to paycheck and had never been able to save any substantial amount of money. I didn't judge her for her financial situation. Everyone has different circumstances, and I understood that not everyone had the same opportunities or priorities that I did. But I also wasn't going to let her financial problems become my financial problems, especially when it came to something as major as buying a house. When I started seriously house hunting and talking to my realtor about making offers, Jessica naturally assumed she would be included in all the paperwork and decisions. She started talking about our house and our mortgage and how exciting it would be to build equity together. She had Pinterest boards full of decorating ideas and was already planning which rooms would be what. The first time I gently corrected her and explained that the house would be in my name only, she seemed confused. She asked if that was just for the initial purchase and if we'd add her name after we got married. I explained that no, I planned to keep the house in my name since I was providing the entire down payment. I would be solely responsible for the mortgage, and I was taking all the financial risk. Jessica's reaction was immediate and intense. She became upset and asked how I could make such a huge decision about our future without including her. She said that if we were really partners planning to get married, we should be building something together instead of me just acquiring assets that she had no stake in. I tried to explain my reasoning calmly. I pointed out that she hadn't contributed anything to the down payment fund, that her credit was too poor to qualify for the mortgage, and that she didn't have stable enough income to take on that kind of financial responsibility. I wasn't trying to exclude her from our life together, but I also wasn't going to put my financial security at risk by adding someone to the deed who couldn't actually contribute to the purchase. Jessica argued that my attitude showed I didn't really see her as an equal partner and that I was treating her like some kind of financial burden instead of the woman I planned to marry. She said that couples are supposed to support each other and build their lives together, not keep score of who contributed what. The conversation escalated over several days. Jessica became increasingly angry and emotional about the house situation. She started making comments about how I was being selfish and controlling, how I clearly didn't trust her, and how she was starting to question whether I really loved her if I was so worried about protecting my assets from her. Finally, Jessica delivered an ultimatum that changed everything. She told me that if I really wanted to marry her and build a life together, I needed to put her name on the house deed. She said that was the only way she could feel secure in our relationship and know that I saw her as a true partner. She gave me a week to think about it, but made it clear that if I wouldn't add her to the deed, she would leave me because she couldn't marry someone who didn't trust her enough to share major life decisions. As I thought about her ultimatum over the next few days, I realized this wasn't really about the house or about feeling included in our future plans. This was about control and financial security. Jessica saw my house purchase as an opportunity to instantly gain equity and financial stability that she couldn't achieve on her own. She was essentially demanding that I give her ownership of an asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars simply because we were engaged. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that someone who truly loved me and wanted to build a life together wouldn't try to manipulate me into making a financially risky decision by threatening to leave. Someone who actually cared about our relationship would understand my position and would be supportive of my achievement rather than trying to claim ownership of it. When the week was up, Jessica asked for my decision. I told her very calmly that I wouldn't be adding her name to the house deed, and that if she felt she needed to leave over that decision, she was free to go. I said I cared about her, but I wouldn't be manipulated or given ultimatums about my financial decisions. Jessica was completely shocked. She clearly expected me to cave under pressure and give her what she wanted.
And I'm glad you didn't. I'll include my own relevance to this part. Now, I don't have good credit. I've taken risks that haven't panned out. I got student loan debt. I got debts, old and not so much. And the thing is about when you marry someone, your debts become each other's debts. And the thing is, if you really feel for that person, if you really care, you'll be very reluctant to share your burdens, especially your financial ones, and especially now in this type of economy, you're very reluctant to share your burdens. Because for me, I feel that that's very irresponsible to do such a thing. If they're willing to take them on, sure, that's a beautiful thing. It makes you love them even more, but you're still very unwilling to give someone you care the world for your burdens. And if she's so worked up, it's already hinting who and what she is. Tell me how you feel about it. Let's start the conversation.